Welcome back to Spitballin Cards. In today's video, you have me, Scott, we have Chris, and we have Jeff. And guys, we are breaking out a brand new format that I'm excited to try. This is called Spitballin Face-Off. This is a debate episode. We are going to assign each of you a different point of view, and you have to debate even if you don't really believe it. The goal of this is to have an argument from both sides of the conversation, like a true debate team type thing. And it's good because a lot of times we all view things pretty similarly on the team. So this is a great way to bring in different thoughts and different opinions. So what I want to talk about in today's episode is going to be who is better to collect right now, Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani. So we're going to assign one of you Aaron Judge, and we're going to assign one of you Shohei Ohtani. Typically, we'll have a fourth person here and trying to convince that fourth person to do that thing, and then I'll kind of just moderate. But let's edit that out. But it will mostly be you guys breaking it down. Any questions for me?
No, let's do it. I'm 100% relief pitchers belong in the Hall of Fame.
That's one next week.
Did I tell that? No. Okay. All right.
I would love to hear that argument from Chris's perspective. So do you want me to randomize this? Or do you want me just to assign who you are going for? Let's randomize.
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just do this. Okay, Jeff, you're arguing for Shohei Ohtani. Chris, you're doing Aaron Judge.
Okay.
So with that being said, let me ask you, Chris, why is Aaron Judge the best investment in baseball cards?
Let's see. Aaron Judge is the best investment in baseball cards because A, he plays for the Yankees. He plays for one of the most rabid fan bases out there, and Yankee fans have to spend exorbitant amounts of money to get into that ballpark. Those fans have money to spend. So that should keep Aaron Judge's cards, frequently bought and sold. He has some big numbers. He's a large person, but when we think of Aaron Judge, we think of 99, because that's his number. But also I think of 62. I think of the fact that, he is the American League home run record holder. He is the Yankee franchise single season record holder. A lot of people don't even want to acknowledge that Barry Bonds, hit 70 home runs or Mark McGwire hit 70 home runs. So if you don't want to do that, if you want to look at Aaron Judge and say he did it the right way, that's your prerogative. And then Aaron Judge is your single season home run leader. And that's a really, really big thing in the world of cards. So that's my opening statement.
Okay. Jeff.
Yeah, this is a great debate, and it's coming off a game when Judge had 2 homers and 4 RBIs, so it's a little tough to argue with that. But Mr. Shohei Ohtani also pitched and hit a home run, which is something that doesn't happen very often. I think Ohtani's uniqueness, his true unicorn status in the hobby, is what makes him collectible. The fact that he can pitch and hit at such a high level. He plays for the Dodgers, who again, it's one of the bigger teams, which makes a good investable guy, but it's more than that. He's got a worldwide appeal. He's got a huge fan base in Asia and around the world as far as baseball card collectors go. So I think that his floor is significantly higher than any other player is right now, especially showing that he is back from his pitching sabbatical. We were wondering how he would do last year without pitching, without the focus on it. He loves it. That's his favorite part of the game, he's often said. But he was magnificent. He put 50-50 up as a DH last year, and now he's on a similar power pace this year. His stolen bases are quite a bit down, which is understandable given the fact that he's been pitching, getting ready to pitch, and now the fact that he's pitched in major league games and looked effective, thrown over 100 miles an hour. I feel like the excitement around his cards is only increasing.
Okay, Chris, why don't you like Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, if you just keep talking about pitching, Shohei's pitching, nobody cares about anyone who's pitching in this hobby. No one cares at all. Tarek Skubal is one of the best pitchers. One of the best left-handed pitchers we've seen in a long time. Like we're seeing like Kershaw prime again, and still his first Bowman Chromes are undersold are being overtaken by like Pete Crow Armstrong. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's never going to make any sense. I mean, we've all seen Justin Verlander naked for crying out loud, and still his hobby like struggles to get traction. So yeah, I think Aaron Judge swings the biggest stick, pun intended, and his offensive peak is something that honestly I really didn't think we'd ever see anything close to Barry Bonds, and Aaron Judge has gotten closer to peak Bonds than really anyone else has that we've seen, with our own 2 eyes. And sure, he's doing it in what I personally think is a joke of a ballpark, but the numbers still count. Those home run numbers still count. There's not going to be any asterisk for Aaron Judge's stats. There isn't. Whereas there definitely is for quite a few other home run numbers that are up there.
This is
I
just
get
to
that.
prove your point real quick, Chris, about the spread of Crow Armstrong versus Skubal, Bowman Chrome Autograph PSA 10 refractors.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yes, and Chris is absolutely right. Nobody cares about pitchers, and if it was only pitching, Ohtani would be just like all the rest. But the fact that he does both, that he hits leadoff in the same game that he's pitching, really makes him stand out. And I think his personality appeals to people. He loves baseball. He loves to be out there. We see the excitement he has when he's winning. His most recent Golden Mirror SSP is one of the best cards of this year so far, holding up that trophy. I think that Judge really has to be as collectible as Ohtani, really has to add some postseason hardware to his mantle case. And Ohtani getting that championship last year, and specifically at the expense of Judge getting it, is one thing that sets them apart. And the Dodgers look like they're on a trajectory to be making the playoffs, being perennial contenders. Not so sure about the Yankees, so not sure how long it's going to take Judge to get back there. And while unfair, a lot of people have a specific memory of Judge that's not so positive from last year's World Series. So I hope for his sake that he is able to get back to the postseason soon and be able to prove that he's more than just a center fielder dropping a fly ball.
Oh, well, he's not a center fielder, but he doesn't have to be a center fielder. No. He's a perfectly adequate right fielder. A couple of things on Aaron Judge. Ohtani already has his World Series, so sure, he may win more, but I mean, his market already includes a World Series win, whereas Judge's market doesn't. So he has a lot of potential there. He also has 2 MVPs, and he has, with all due respect to Cal Raleigh, like no superstars in the American League, challenging him for that award. All he has to do is stay on the field. And if he can do that, he's just going to rack up MVPs. I know Bobby Witt had a superstar season last year, but we don't really hear much about Bobby Witt this year. Definitely taking a step back. It's early. He's got time. I think Guerrero still has 9 home runs. So, I mean, I don't know who the American League other star is. Like if you go to all-star voting, which I did today, I encourage you all to do it. Vote Acuna. If you look at the American League All-Star finalists for the outfield, it's laughable what the American League All-Star team even looks like. The National League team is absolutely stacked. The American League, guys, Javi Baez is an American League All-Star finalist.
Mike Trout's number 4. Pretty funny.
Yeah. So, I mean, the American League is Aaron Judge's league. Like if he can stay on the field, Jeff, we're talking about a guy who could win the next 2 MVPs with, for him, like not even incredible seasons. If he puts up 7.5 WAR the next year and this year, like who's going to stop him from winning these MVPs?
Yeah, looking at that, kudos to Raptors Tigers fans for having 3 outfielders in the top 7. That's pretty impressive. One thing I do want to reiterate what Chris is saying. If he stays on the field, which the last couple seasons hasn't been an issue, but prior to that it was. And that's one thing that kept me away from his cards for so long, because he not only had a late start to his career, but he was oft injured through his late 20s. So he didn't play as many games as you'd like to see a young player play. There's quite a few spots in those seasons. Yeah, thank you for highlighting that. And given his size, he's a tendency to be hurt younger in his career. People don't often get healthier in their 30s, which is something I've heard Chris say before. So I am a little skeptical that we've already seen Ohtani bounce back from a couple major injuries. We've seen what he can do if the pitching even gets taken away. If he's unable to pitch the way he used to, he still is able to be a monster at the plate. So yeah, if he can stay on the field, still an if there.
Yeah, should Judge manage to get the Yankees. And by the way, the Yankees also have, looking at the other teams in the American League, I'm not sure, like, I know they're not a deep team. They're not a very, incredibly constructed team. It's not a lineup that fills you with fear or a rotation that feels deep or anything like that. But who's going to stop them in the American League? I mean, Ty's not here, so I can shit on the Tigers like all I want. Their record is good. Their bullpen's been great, but I mean, you never want to face Skubal in the playoffs, but you only have to face him for like twice in a 5-game series. They got a lot of platoon guys in their lineup. We'll see what happens, how that team fares come postseason time.
Yeah, I do have to say, to that point, Max Fried has been not that far behind Tarik Skubal in terms of quality of a season. So
yeah, I don't want to talk about Max Fried in a Yankee uniform yet.
the
Jeff.
Yankees,
I'm not
the fact that they lost Garrett Cole and are still able to be first place, that division has been really disappointing in a lot of cases. But yeah, that's a good point. There might not be a lot of people up against them. Yeah, I'm seeing the Tigers, maybe the Astros could give them a run, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but
we'll see how the deadline shakes out. Certainly, there's going to be some players moving around. But go ahead.
So yeah, I was just going to say that's still things still have to break their way to get back to the World Series, and the Dodgers seem a pretty heavy favorite to get back there, especially as their pitching staff gets healthier, including Ohtani.
True. Yeah, if Aaron Judge can have a couple big postseason moments, I think there's a lot of room for his cards, as high as they are, to even go up. And it is. I did want to. Jeff referenced the Ohtani Series 2 Golden Mirror with the World Series trophy, Yamamoto chugging a beer. It's an early nominee. On one of our Blabbin' About Slabbin' episodes, I thought I had a nominee for Baseball Card of the Year. My first one. I think that Ohtani is the second. And it's not fair that Aaron Judge's SSP is him with Roger from Family Guy, who happens to be wearing not Family Guy, Roger from American Dad. He's wearing a Derek Jeter jersey, but that's exactly what Derek Jeter looks like without a hat on. It's a brutal photo. It's a terrible photo. But Ohtani gets this, which is just a absolutely spectacular card.
It's two Yankee legends, two captains, though, Chris.
I know it. On paper, Jeff, that card should be phenomenal. It's Judge with Jeter in front of that wall with all those legendary signatures. And somehow all I can do is stare at Jeter's head and just, I don't know. It kind of give him a hat, put something on his head. The bigger a sombrero they can get, like the better. But yeah, meanwhile, this Ohtani card, sometimes it's the quality of the card helps the player's hobby, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Just a quick note on that. We've talked about that historically with guys like Bryce Harper being more collectible than, say, Mookie Betts because of the quality of the cards he gets, the consistent quality. And that may be the case with Ohtani here too.
Yeah. So let me propose a question to you both. All right. So here we have two cards, and I need you, Jeff, to tell me why this price difference is justified for Shohei Ohtani. And then I want you, Chris, to tell me why you think it's not justified. Why is this price difference justified? This is an Aaron Judge Bowman Chromatograph Gold BGS 9.5, the latest sale, sold for $28,000. The Shohei Ohtani, same grade, sold for $96,000. So we're looking at, what's that, 3.5 times higher, maybe? Maybe not quite that high, about 3 times higher or so. Why is that price justified for an Ohtani when Judge is having a historic run?
Okay, are those graded?
Both BGS 9.5s.
Both BGS 9.5s. Okay. Well, I think that just shows how unique that Ohtani's talents are, that we haven't seen anything like him before. I believe both these guys are on Hall of Fame trajectories. They've both had outstanding moments, huge seasons, both played for big franchises, especially Ohtani now. So I get why they're both massively collected, but I just feel like Ohtani's fan base and collector base to me is probably about 3.5 or 4 times what Judge's is. So that would be that makes me think that the prices are just about right.
Okay, Chris, what's your rebuttal to
that? What's my rebuttal to that? That's a great question.
Why is Judge undervalued compared to Ohtani?
Why is Judge undervalued compared to Ohtani? Well, Judge is very clearly the second most popular baseball player right now, and basically I would say the second best baseball player. And his cards absolutely should be less than Shohei Ohtani's. But a third seems a little bit egregious. I think he's still getting punished, for a World Series miscue and maybe a perceived lack of postseason production. Oof, that's a very spitty phrase. But I mean, if you're asking me which one of those two cards would I rather buy at those two prices, I will take the Aaron Judge card at 28.5 because I feel like that has a lot more room to grow. Whereas I think the Ohtani is probably safer. I think it's way less likely that Ohtani goes down than Aaron Judge, but I think that Aaron Judge has more room to go up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So let me ask you this then. This is a question for you, Chris. Do you genuinely believe, and again, you do from this debate perspective, do you genuinely believe Aaron Judge will have long-term staying power in this hobby, and why?
Yeah, absolutely. His peak is outrageous. He plays in the right city, in the right ballpark, on the right team. So yeah, he will absolutely have hobby longevity. I mean, we've seen like what Derek Jeter's hobby is. It's extremely strong, and we don't need to get into whether it's deservedly so or not. But he's famous, and Aaron Judge will continue to be famous. He'll have. I mean, 99 is going to get retired. Like if he gets hit by a car tomorrow and his career's over, that 99 is still getting retired in Monument Park, like for sure. He won't get a statue because they just can't afford that much metal to make it life size. But yeah, I mean, he will have staying power. He will. I've said on this channel before that I think unfortunately there's a chance that down the road Mike Trout is sort of forgotten about in the hobby because of the irrelevance of the teams he's played on. Judge will not suffer that fate. Like the Yankees are never irrelevant.
Okay, Jeff. Yeah. Any final reasons why people should be buying Ohtani and not Judge? To wrap this debate up, and then we'll have you, the viewer, decide in the comments who the winner was of the debate.
Again, I feel like Ohtani's best asset is his extremely wide fan base. He has fans all over the world, which builds in a collector floor, builds in a hobby floor for his prices. So while I agree with Chris that those price points of those cards you just showed, I'd probably go with the Judge as well there. I also feel that long-term, the safer bet is Ohtani. He's less likely to go all the way down. I feel like his collectors are loyal. He's got a large fan base in Japan that have collected him and still collect his American cards. So I feel like the breadth of his hobby appeal is going to be what keeps him at the top.
All right, let us know in the comments who won the first Spitballin' face-off. Whether you think Chris made a good argument for Aaron Judge, or you think Jeff made a good argument for Shohei Ohtani. All right, now we have Phil. That was perfect timing, Phil. Good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm extremely exceptional. How are you guys doing?
Good. We're doing good.
Excellent.
Who are you taking? Ohtani or Judge, Phil? One word.
Same as you, Scott. Ohtani. Actions speak louder than words. We know where you're at these days. I got to take Ohtani. And some of it has to do with just Judge. Took him a little bit to get going. And a little more risk with longevity, too.
You mean for his career, not for this year? Just so people don't take that out of context.
Oh, yeah. For this year, ooh.
He's been good from the start. I think he meant like he was older in his career, right?
Right. We did make that point.
Yeah. Okay. For this year, it's so hard. Aaron Judge has already gotten a little bit of a bump. And Ohtani's gotten a smaller bump. And deservedly so. Yeah, I mean, Aaron Judge looks to be having his potentially third MVP season, which would time for Trout. So we talk about how Mike Trout and him and the gap is like narrowing. The gap's narrowing and Judge is catching up to Trout. Well, pretty soon he's going to be at Trout's levels, if not higher, because of recency. Because he's going to have 3 MVPs, arguably 3.5 because of what happened to Altuve, but then you could make the same case with Trout and Miguel Cabrera. So let's call that an even situation. 3.5 MVPs, tied for the most ever for a active player. This assumes that Ohtani doesn't get his 4th, though. And I don't know. Pick either one of them, but if you pick anybody else, then you lost. How about that?
There we go. I think the biggest Trout tragedy is Josh Donaldson winning the MVP over him that one year. When you look back, in the moment it made sense, but when you look at stats, it's pretty brutal second place finish to Josh Donaldson.
Yeah.
Are you guys worried about? Did you guys talk about Cal Raleigh? And what if Judge doesn't lead the AL in home runs?
Yeah, he's going to lead in batting average and RBI, but lose in home runs. What are the odds of that happening to a catcher? Pretty crazy.
And his batting average has been slowing down a bit.
Yeah,
of course.
So he's in the 350s now, but
can I show you guys
in the 350s?
Yeah,
for a 6'7" power hitter. He's only batting 350 now.
This still kind of blows my mind for Trout versus Donaldson. I don't know. They hit the same batting average. Trout had 60 points more OPS. Donaldson had more RBIs. Trout had more WAR. Who are you taking between those two that year?
We need a little more context. Like, what was the
Donaldson made the playoffs. Trout
I
did.
assume he was in a pennant race, right? Donaldson was. The Blue Jays made it in there.
I'm assuming too. I don't remember that well.
Trout needed to run more that year. Only 11 steals. That did it.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's jump to our second topic. Okay. So the second part of this video, we want to do our biggest pickups of the last little bit. So, Jeff, show us what you've been buying.
All right, I've got a couple. I just want to start with one. This is an Otani Heritage Throwback. I'm in the process of trying to get all of his Heritage Throwbacks. Sad to see that this is a specific parallel that Heritage has stopped producing, so we won't get any more. But I love these old uniforms. Elastic waistband, no buttons down there.
Can you explain what a throwback is? I know you're kind of doing it right now, but what is it to those that are?
So they are wearing a throwback uniform. So typically, teams would all wear these historically accurate uniforms from their specific team's history on any given day or multiple days during the year. And Heritage made a set out of it, a very rare, essentially a super short print variation of teams with their old uniforms, or players with their team's old uniforms on. So in this case, it's Otani in an old school Angels uniform.
Nice. I love it. Anything else you want to show?
All right, I will show one more. This is a card that Chris and I picked up. It's not a recent pickup, but I'll explain why. So here's Spencer Strider. We actually picked this up before the 2024 season. It was our first foray into pitching. But we got it off COMC, and we just got it back from PSA. This is the rare COMC card that actually gemmed, believe it or not. So I'm sure it's not worth what we paid for it, but at least it gemmed.
At least you feel better about yourself, right?
For whatever reason, these golds are out of 15.
Sure.
Oh, that's awesome. Weird, but that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, there were no autos in that particular Bowman Draft Sapphire edition, but there were golds to 15.
Yes. So going forward, there's no longer going to be golds to 15, but there it is. But anyway, so we just recently got it back from PSA. It's a gem, but it's a constant reminder of why we're not going to be investing in pitchers any longer.
Okay. All right, Chris. What is your
Phil, go ahead. You had a big stack there. I want to see what you got.
I got a stack of guys. Don't buy prospects.
Unless you want to make serious bucks like Phil, then you do buy prospects.
Yeah, not
you got
anymore.
Some Walcott in there.
Hey, it doesn't count as a loss until you sell it, right? Yeah, I've got a bunch of Walcotts here. They're all Walcott PSA 10s. I've got a purple. I mean, we talked about in an episode how it's kind of great how it's not a junk wax era because it's just giving more options to collectors and
that's true. Yeah.
Hobbyists to, get some like rare, lower numbered stuff. And there's so many different possibilities, but I mean, 50 different colors of the same card. Is that really creativity? Is that really more options? Anyways, that's for a different video.
What set is that from, Phil? What set is that Walcott from?
Yeah, you might want to take a minute and give everyone a little breakdown on Walcott's Bowman Chrome situation, Phil.
Yeah, 2024 Bowman is where you can find his first Bowman Chrome autograph card, but it doesn't have a first on it, as you can notice. What makes this even more confusing, by the way, his first prospect card came from 2023 Bowman Chrome. So in 2024, the Bowman set, which comes out in April or May, that's where you could get this autograph. But then in Bowman Chrome in 2024, he had his second autograph card. So 2023 Bowman Chrome, first non-auto, first prospect Bowman card, and then his two first autos both come in 2024. Neither have the first on it. So this is like the better pose. This one sells for a bit more. This one came first. But it's just more confusion.
Of course.
It's another reason why you shouldn't buy these cards. And Sebastian Walcott, by the way, Scott was probably just checking. 19-year-old in AA, that's cool. But pretty soon he'll be 20, next March or whatever. And it won't be as cool. And he's been stuck at 8 home runs for at least a month. And I keep on checking. I'm pretty sure he hasn't hit his last home run in at least like 3, 4, 5 weeks. And the OPS plus or WRC plus from Fangraphs is hovering between 110 and 120. And now it's closer to 110. So projected to profile to be kind of like Fernando Tatis Jr., except without the, walnut-sized brain. hopefully, and injury risk. But he probably also isn't as good looking and doesn't have the lower body and butt of Fernando Tatis Jr. or charisma.
That's hard to compete with.
Or charisma. Yeah.
So,
Right. I don't know. Are you at all worried about a 19-year-old struggling in Double-A a little bit? He's still above average. I don't know. We're not jumping off the Sebastian Walcott train yet, are we, Phil?
no, I'm forced to hold at this point, but that's what everybody tells themselves. So, I mean, one of the nice things about holding underperforming prospects that you paid more than you should have for is other people are doing the same. People are more emotionally attached to like a Walcott, even though they've never seen them play in person, than say like a growth stock. Like if you're buying and selling like Jeff, you might know this name, SMCI, CoreWeave, super microcomputers. I feel like that stuff tends to like blow up faster than when you have collectors that have an emotional attachment to something. And the same biases though, because nobody wants to take a loss. So people try to hold till they can at least break even and make a little bit. So it's not horrible. Like Scott's showing the K rate here.
That's what I was showing. That's really good. And his walk rate is really good.
Yeah.
His BABIP shows that he's been unlucky because his average BABIP for his career is amazing, and he's underperforming his career averages.
So I guess I'll hold.
There you go. Better. So I got a few cool cards in the mail today, actually. The first one is I got this for sale in the mail. It's a 1-of-1. I've already talked about this on the show, so I won't go into too much depth. It's a 1-of-1. I think it's his best image ever made. So big fan of that card. I got this one in the mail today. We already talked about it today. It got authenticated by eBay Authentication. It's Ohtani's Golden Mirror from this year.
Awesome.
Big fan of that one. So that's a pretty cool one. And the last one I got in the mail today was this Bobby Witt Jr. Dynasty RPA. So these were hovering around 3,500 to 4,000, and this one is the lowest it's ended in like the last 12 months. I got it for like 2,600. So because it was so low, I'm feeling really happy about it. Plus, the autograph looks good, the patch looks good. 2022 Dynasty always looks good. So, anyways, those are my pickups for the last little bit.
All right. Geez, compared to you guys, I'm just like I'm a little kid shopping with his allowance money. So here's my first. I think it's up there. This is an Acuna auto out of 2020 Stadium Club Chrome. I love this card. This is actually the first copy of it I've ever gotten. This card and parallels of it. If I kept stats on cards I have been sniped on eBay or out-sniped, this card would be number one. It is double digits how many times I've lost the bidding on this card with less than a second. So I was very excited, as I said on my IG post here, I was very excited just to be able to overpay straight for it without having to battle someone else. I actually bought this off some guy on Reddit. And I want a quick shout out to thank you, Shelly the Turtle, YouTube, one of our beloved Patreon members, who actually sent me this. He found it on Reddit and was kind enough to share it. So thank you to him. I love this card. If you have a copy of this in any parallel and you want to sell it, I'm an idiot and feel free to sell it to me. I have one other. I'm glad Scott showed a Stadium Club card because, you know, some of these Stadium Club autos that I stumble into on eBay, I can't let go by. So I'm a Braves fan, as you can tell, but I've always loved David Wright. He's one Met player I really wish the Braves had drafted and somehow could have reworked history to get him, but he's awesome. I loved him in the World Baseball Classic when he was called Captain America for a spring. But so this is a 2021 Stadium Club auto. It's with the 1991 design variation, and there's 25 of these. He doesn't have a base auto with this image, so there's just 25 autos with this, and it looks like a regular nondescript David Wright image, but on his shoulder there is the World Series patch.
Oh,
so this
cool.
is actually from when they were playing the Royals in the World Series. It's horizontal, so you can see he, make his auto extra big. I was really excited to see this one. I saw it on the checklist, but I'd never seen a copy of it until about give or take a month ago on eBay when this thing just randomly popped up.
I really like how the autograph is framed on a white jersey, because if that was just the background next to him, it would not stand out that much.
Agreed. But
That's
cool. These 91 variations that Stadium Club was doing these for about 3 years in a row. There's some unique images on these cards, and stuff like this that gets somebody like me really excited.
Hey, Chris, I love the uniform that Acuna had on. It kind of looked like a throwback. Was it their throwback or maybe City Connect?
Yeah, this was actually
an alternate jersey for sure.
Yeah, this wasn't their, it isn't their City Connect. This image was from, I guess, 2019. Yeah, this is just their regular back then, their throwback jersey.
Awesome.
So it's like a tribute to Hank Aaron.
Yeah,
or that year, I think.
nice.
But yeah, it looks great. And I'm hoping this throw. I never looked at the picture, never looked up the image, Jeff. But I
want
like
me to find it and break your heart.
That's
it's an
all right.
air that allows the runner to score. From
Yeah,
I mean, over the dugout into the fourth row. Yeah.
This is, I'm sure it's an ill-advised throw to third base, but it's a really cool image. I love how the gold chain is like swinging around his neck too.
Can I just say it's been really good to see Acuna come back as strong as he has?
Oh yeah, I mean it's completely wasted on an absolutely terrible Braves team, but it's still really fun to watch.
I'm about this close to buying a really cool Acuna card right now.
Ooh.
I talk myself in and out every day. But yeah. I'm really happy for you. I told you. I remember when he got hurt. I would think I was the most optimistic about him coming back and becoming a slugger. I'm happy it came through.
This is what happens if you ever. Let me start again. If you guys ever hear about someone's boyfriend gaslighting them, that's what it sounds like. When Acuna got hurt, Scott laughed in my face and stomped on his grave.
No, I didn't. And I was laughing at your reaction, not at Acuna.
Oh, my sadness made you laugh. I think that's even worse.
Chris, you know how funny your one-liners are? How do I not laugh at the stuff you say? Like, that's the hardest part for me, is you'll be like in the most depressed state, but then you'll say the funniest thing. And how do I not laugh, even though you're suffering? It's something that I have to deal with on this show.
Yeah, that's what's called a cry for help, Scott. And you did not answer the cry.
Right there. That was it. I can't help
it. I got texts from Phil after, offering condolences and sending me virtual hugs. Those felt a lot better, I have to be honest.
I will say, though, I'm really happy to see Acuna come back.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
But hopefully the Braves can figure it out because Michael Harris is terrible.
Yes. Hey, what's that?
Ooh, what do we got there?
Yeah, so this would have been a better example of a pickup probably.
I like that.
Something I'm a little bit more excited about. So 2017 Topps Chrome hobby boxes. They're blowing up right now. They're really hard to find on eBay. 900-ish. For a hobby box, probably going to be closer to 9, somewhere around 900. So if you can find a Topps Chrome jumbo box with 5 autos, remember the old Topps Chrome with 5 autos and not the 3 that started in 2023. If you can find one of those for under, to put it in perspective here. Okay, so 2018 Topps Chrome hobby boxes, regular hobby. 2018, Ohtani, Acuna, mostly live autographs, I believe, at least with Ohtani, and partial, if not mostly live for Acuna as well. 2018 Topps Chrome hobby boxes are now at least $2,500.
Wow.
From what I can tell. So if you can get this jumbo from 2017 for less than half the cost of a 2018 Topps Chrome hobby box, I like it. And also factor in the print run increase that happened from 2017 to 2018. ChatGPT estimates, based on blue refractor autograph pull rates, that 46% increase in production happened between 2017 and 2018. That was one of the big, like, ultra modern sort of spikes that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
I think the big jump of Topps Chrome happened between 2017 and 2018, with some other products that happened between 18 and 19 or 19 and 2020. But yeah, so goodbye if you can find a Topps Chrome jumbo for like $1,200 or so.
Do me a favor. Tell me we'll do hobby boxes as an example. Tell me, I need this information. Parallel? What parallel? We'll do the orange refractor to 25. How many cards are on the checklist for Topps Chrome? 300? Is that accurate?
No, for probably 200 in 2017.
200?
Smaller set.
Yeah. So the card for pack, I put 3 because we have 1 parallel or refractor per pack. These are base cards. So I just need you guys to tell me the number, like the pack odds, and I can tell you exactly how many oranges, how many base cards are in hobby boxes of each player. Does that make sense? So we can figure that out right now. Pretty close to exact.
Okay.
Are you following me? I just need someone to give me that information.
Yeah, Phil, what are the orange refractor pack odds?
Yeah. Let me just open this up real quick.
Crack it open. Okay, I'll go to Baseball Cardpedia and I'll reshare when I have the appropriate information. How about that?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So Phil, that looks like a more responsible use of money than 2025 or 2024 Dynasty. far
It's
as
also
my
a
show.
subtle flex. You have an extra box behind you as well.
Yeah, and if you can break into my house, you get it because it's not wallpaper; it's real. I just confirmed it's real.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Should we edit that out?
What?
It's not worth it. There's not even a judge in those boxes. Don't go through the effort.
Yeah. You get like shitty Matt Olson. Guy sucks.
Oh, we're Matt Olson catching strays in this episode now. Just trying to watch some baseball card content, you know, when he should be working on his swing. But
Matt Olson, that'd be so funny. Other than that, anything else you guys want to share in regards to pickups, or are you feeling pretty good about this episode?
I just want to say one thing before we finish. It is we are recording this on Monday, June 30th. This Thursday is July 3rd. It's the first Thursday of July, which means it is SSP Thursday on Instagram. I know Scott's going to post that Ohtani that he picked up. If you guys are watching, you have an IG for cards. Post like your favorite SSP that you got. Use hashtag SSP Thursday. You can tag me, Baseball Card Addict. You can tag Jeff, my favorite cardboard. And we'll share it around. Hopefully get everyone some extra followers. And if nothing else, see some very cool, rare flagship cards.
I'm really excited to share some SSP purchases. I haven't been able to do it for a while. I have another one coming in that I'll save for this Thursday that I'm looking forward to sharing. So
Excellent. And then we'll talk about them on Thursday night. So join us live on Blood and Buff Blabbin.
Okay, thanks everybody. We appreciate you. We'll see you in the next video.